Hello, welcome to another episode of Education on the Budget. I'm your host, T Love, my co-host.
Gonna say it.
Today we're going to talk about spiritual awareness. When I say that, I'm going to say that because the other day, well, a lot of the times that I can personally be around somebody and I know I need to get some information from them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll engage with them in conversation. One guy was on a treadmill. He said something. He said he was a contractor on the phone. So I said, your own business? He said, yes. I said, well, let me know if you need an administrator. I would actually work for you. He said, what about sales? I said, I'll do that too. He said, I'm put my name and your number on the card and give it to you next week. So the more clients that he get through me, I'm gonna get a percentage of what he makes.
That's good. I said it sounds like a even.
Right. Which I appreciate that because I had no idea, but some said just follow through. And I tell you it all the time, whenever you get an impression to follow through, do so because you never know what blessings might come along. There's another job that I'm going for, which is one an AFC home, right? Lisa's daughter owns one. She's actually finding, she has several of them, but she'll finding a new one, a new location. Well, she wants me to do home health day before I do that. But she has to set up a meeting. It's in Westland. But she didn't want me to go back.
Far, but it ain't that. It's reachable.
She said, I said, look, I don't care where you are. If you need me to meet first face to face, I will come and meet. But she wants to schedule that when it's more conducive for her timing. She has a lot of businesses. But I think what she's doing is she's waiting until she finds a location for the AFC home so she can put me right in there. She like my skills, she like my qualifications, I sent certificates, resume, and everything. She has all that. That's what I'm thinking is happening. And then I was pissed off yesterday because I found out I have to wait over a year for my tiny house.
So that's what you originally thought or had the information to. So now you found out that you don't have to wait the year. Okay,
No, I do have to wait the year. But the thing about it is, somebody kept telling me keep researching. I would see things on YouTube and everything, and on the news, and like, how long does it take? So some say just look online, and it takes up to a year or more. You have to do the landscaping, put up the solar panels, then set up everything.
Contracts,
right? Because also it's about volunteers.
It depends on when you started, what season throughout.
Right, because the applications are like February, so by the end of the year, or at least by the beginning of next year, I'll have it.
Okay.
With that being said, also the Section 8 house, the first one I looked at, they're still developing it. It's not even finished. But it's on East Jefferson. It's a beautiful building. At least the conception picture is beautiful.
So what do you hope to achieve? Or what is your mission to achieve by doing this in general?
Our place to come in the summertime. Because I will not be here in the wintertime after my 7 years. Because you're with the tiny house, all you have to pay is lights. The amount of paying for rent goes into land and security because the ring cameras on there and water. All you pay is lights.
Okay.
So after 7 years, they give me that. The house is mine after 7 years. They give me the deed and everything.
Damn. So pretty much like
7 years.
They transfer all the rights to you.
Exactly. And I have a dog that was backyard. And I'm saying just pay attention to the details because I watch all the videos, but I wasn't paying attention to the details. And being a part of that housing development, you have to volunteer at least 10 hours a month at their services.
10 hours?
10 hours.
A month? That's not bad.
No. But like the guy that started his first one, he became a senior guy, so he works for the company. But you can volunteer at the food pantry, doing cooking, crafts, construction, things like that. Just something for other people to actually look up to you for an example of why you're part of the community.
Okay.
So I like that insight.
So I'm hearing expansion.
Very much so. Because once I get the tiny house established, that gives me time to go down there and focus on my land in South Carolina. The only tiny house down there.
Okay.
Also apply for a Motor City Pride, which is white people get pride here. Ironically, by this time of year, they've had all their talent already. But they don't have enough talent. So I'm sure I should be a shoe-in for that. And then I knew the guy over Black Pride, which I didn't want to work for them ever again. But because I know them, I want the exposure.
Okay.
I reached out to them. So
sometimes that's all that.
It's all about knowing when is the right time to follow through with your perceptions or follow through with your discernment, because not every time is the right time.
That's true.
And I've learned that in my time, things come at me in waves. I can catch the first wave or I can catch the second wave. Most of that first wave I didn't pay no attention. But that's how people are. We don't pay attention to the first wave. But it's right there in your face. And you see it. You just don't acknowledge it for some reason.
So Now, what's up? You all right? How you feeling?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all in camera. I cut it out.
Yeah, you good.
But we have to catch those waves. We have to catch them when they come. We can't wait till the passing because by the end the time is gone.
So why do you think that people don't catch those waves?
They don't recognize it. They don't realize that it's there. They don't realize it's there for their benefit.
Okay.
Prime example.
That's very true.
Like when I knew I wanted to go for a tiny house when I got here. I knew that. So I started inquiring about it. They told me I had to wait till the applications were accepted. January 21st or something like that. I waited till the end, and then they moved the date. So okay, I waited till the end. And I waited the day after they started applications to submit mine. I went down there to the building, got my application, got 2 of them. But no, I got 1. Applied for 1, dropped it off. And this whole little thing goes through. But I didn't read everything. If I read everything, I would have known the details that I overpassed. I passed. I missed that with my first wave. I missed that wave. But me being inquisitive, inquiring, I caught the second wave. Be more assertive about what you want to find out about the place. So I first emailed them and like we said in the letter, you will be notified once we. And I was paying attention. I was just trying to apply. I wasn't trying.
You were just inquiring about it in general, like you didn't care about.
I didn't care about how long. I didn't think about how long it takes. But now I understand because I drive by there all the time, and I noticed that there are things that are not there. Like dirt is still in the front. The houses are built. Some of the security the cameras actually taken off the door. I guess they're refitting them, whatever. But when I did this yesterday, I was really pissed off about it because I didn't pay attention to the details. And I'm a really detail-oriented person. I just want to apply. Once you told me they called you and everything was good from that end, I was like, wait, why am I worried about it? It's just that now I have to be patient. I have to really be patient. I don't want to be patient.
Man, I was just.
I can't focus on my music because he moved from upstairs downstairs across from me now. So he's watching this show on YouTube where it's like a book. One still picture on the screen, but they're telling a story. The story lasts 45 minutes long, 30 to 45 minutes long. And I have to hear that all night. Because he knows plenty about.
You gonna turn that shit off, boy. You gotta set a timer, nigga.
I told him that. He said, I want a timer. I set a timer on mine so I can go on sleep. But
okay.
But it's just, we have to be to the waves. Like, prime example, another example. Yesterday, the first wave was you came in. Well, I knew you were coming in with your cousin. The first wave was that he was staying here. That's when I realized that was my way to let you know, okay, enjoy your family. No, the first wave was when I told you to enjoy your family. When you said he was staying here, I was like, I'm glad I made that decision. Because even if I take you away from that, he's still going to be here. But it's his first day back, so I want you to enjoy that time.
Yeah, and then what's crazy is when we went to the locker room, I just randomly asked him, I was like, wait, you here permanently? Because I assumed he was going back for some reason. So he was like, nah, I'm back. It's like permanent. He's like, I'm in the thing, getting it was like they doing the paperwork now. I was like, damn. So then I was like, okay, we still could have did, but this is the thing though. So I got caught. That was funny. You should have heard the first one he did. That shit was funny, but I was trying to listen to you. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. So now listen. It was that noise right there. So
back on track.
When he started doing this thing where it makes my competitive side come out. So
I noticed that we all sitting right here doing our arm. I don't know who that was. You were showing them. He was like, slow down. And then you did it, and he was trying to tell you what to do. I'm like, I would think you know what you're doing.
So listen, that's what I'm saying. So it's the fact that you can feel that shit without you even knowing what's going on. And you gotta understand, it's not like a negative thing.
No, I just peeped it.
It's just like, I'm about to bust your ass. Cause it's like a competitive thing. So it's like, okay, see, because he's seeing me now. So the last time he seen me,
you weren't like this.
I wasn't this old. I was lean as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I look crazy, but I wasn't this big. And he seen me like, all right. So then here come this like, it's like this shit that men do, like this masculine shit.
I call that testosterone.
Yeah. So I'm just like, all right.
Like you feel like you need to compete. We really don't have to.
And you don't have to, but it's just sometimes it's just like it's something that they do.
Ego thing.
Yes, and it's something that they do, and you got to be like, hold on. We got to
without you being here.
All right, come on, line up on this scrimmage real quick. But so real quick,
That ain't quick.
In a the 2 minute video, you mentioned something about. Okay, we gonna scratch that.
No.
It just
Mention what?
left because I really want to say something to you about it, but then we start talking about something else. But it was something you mentioned in the 2 minute
For the
section.
for the spiritual gifts.
Yes, but I was gonna ask you something about distractions and how because I remember the first thing I asked you was how why do you think that they don't why you said something about they can't see it, it's the way that they see it. Then my second question was gonna be something, but I forgot what it was. But anyway, so I don't hold up time. It's like now, as far as the gifts, right? What do you think? Do you think
Because gifts and spiritual awakening are two different things, but they're in the same room, I should say. Because your gifts can be awakened by the spiritual enhancement that you have, but they could also be hindered as well, based on people that you're around.
yes, I have that experience, and I always I knew who I was, but before I actually had my spiritual awakenings, like for real, because most people don't understand, it's not one spiritual awakening. You can have like several throughout your life.
It's up to you to acknowledge what they are and when they are.
Man, and you gonna know when them shits popping up. Now, I found out recently that they can come in different forms, depending on the person. That's what I realized. Mine was like I wasn't here physically. Like, and people like I don't understand what I'm. Like, people don't understand what I mean by that. But so side note, I notice when we doing stuff like this, our energy is very powerful, and the things that we talk about, and people that I've never seen her a day in my life.
Really?
And she just spoke to me like I know her.
I
and that's cool. It's just I just had to say something about it because that leads to the conversation that we're having, because I feel like in this power, something about that. That's what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna say you was talking about something. And I was like, do you think it's okay? When you was talking about yes, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. So maybe that happened for a reason. So when you was talking about when you was inquiring about the places and the houses, and you said you don't know how it worked or what.
I just knew I wanted one.
You just know you wanted it. So, and then that's what I was going to say right after that. I was going to ask you, do you think it's power in doing that? Because I personally believe it is.
There is. Just like if there's power in your words, you can actually. What's the word I'm looking for? Almost like projecting. You can project positivity in your life based off what you say. If you want something, you can achieve it. You can get it, but you have to really want it. You have to really know. Like they give you this spiritual affirmation thing. If you want it bad enough, you pray on it, all this other stuff. But you don't. You just have to know that you believe that it belongs to you. Acknowledge the fact that it belongs to you, and it is yours. That's another part of being discernment. Is if you can acknowledge that it's yours, you will have it. It may not be right now, but you're gonna have it.
And that leads me to my next point, where how a lot of these things, like we can be doing forms of said gifts without like realizing it, like manifestation. Like I realized
that's what
when you got something coming, or when you prepare for something, like he's talking about the tiny house, right? So it's kind of along the lines of the previous episodes that we had about when I bought the key fob and put it on my key ring, and I had my house keys on.
You manifested that you wanted it, you obtained it, and you have it. But it came with a price. Because you had to deal with all the things that came along with it.
So, but that's this, and then I realized that's just life. It's just a duality.
Exactly. As long as you can accept that and it not hinder your growth from it and learn from it, you're fine. It was meant for you to learn from it, which is why you had time when you couldn't get anywhere. And what is it like to not have that vehicle?
Yeah, and then it made me appreciate it more.
Exactly.
And then not that I didn't, but sometimes we need reminders.
Exactly.
Because we can forget very fast, especially in today's time, because there's so much being mixed in a pot at once. Whereas when he was around my age, things were much like slower.
They were.
Even though I wasn't here, but I can just tell. Because when I was a kid, things was much slower. So
you have more
before
time to enjoy the days,
and
enjoy the things around you.
process the things, and then I was
As you
just
get older, you don't have time for that.
yeah,
Try to get to the next thing.
exactly. When I was and then I was watching this video on X about it was a video that popped up about these people like in the 80s and 90s they was just like dancing, or in the 90s they was just dancing with each other, and I just remember those times when I was linking up with my family all the time, and it used to be stuff that we used to do that we didn't even think twice about or think anything of. It was just something about life. And now I think about it now, like damn, I even go to outings. It's like you got to go to particular or certain places,
right,
to get this kind of thing.
Prime example, Belle Isle. The big slide. The slide, we build a slide all the time. We would actually picnic across from the slides. We go to the giant slide. And now it's closed down. They tore up the zoo. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's just ruins. No.
But we have to, like, as an adult, as an older person, I should say, we had to find other ways to extract that fulfillment or that happiness. Yeah. Because it's not difficult. It's just we had to find another avenue to get there.
Yeah, but it's too late now. So
no, not too late.
Nah, Belle Isle, they didn't that contract.
But you know, they're talking about putting houses on there.
That's what that's what I'm talking about. The contract. They're about to expand the Belle Isle. Like it's $1 billion project. Right. And they signed off on it, so they trying to. But what I'm saying is, don't fuck around and build some shit that's gonna kill people. That motherfucker gonna sink.
That's what my boy was saying.
Stop playing.
Because he was already thinking. I was like, really?
But the fact that we have an island is actually insane.
But there has to be a reason. What makes an island is the separation from the mainland. There has to be something up under that keeps it afloat. It's not just on top of water bouncing. It's not. There's something under it that goes down to the ground.
It's a foundation.
Something foundation. But you have to be mindful of how steady that foundation is. You pay attention to the island, how it's spread out, how things are. The main buildings are near the center of the island. It's not on the edges because it might break or tip over, if you
will. That's interesting.
I feel like it's on a triangle. The point at the top of the triangle.
Yes.
That's how you look at the island. Because whatever that center part, you don't want to take it off or it's killed because it'll go left or right and it will actually start sinking on one side.
Got you. It's like a seesaw.
Right. So be mindful where they place things. So when you're doing something on one side of the island, they do something on the other side of the island. They have to.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So we go over here and got to do over here. So that's maybe why it's two of everything.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But oh goodness.
Yeah, because when I get home, I gotta go.
I gotta go cook the chicken rice for the church.
Oh shit! Well, when you gotta give it to them?
11.
That's right.
Today, my bistro today. But anything else you want to add to spiritual awakeness?
Like far as like the spiritual gifts, I think so. Well, going forward, how do you think if a person that doesn't really, that doesn't really understand these things, what would you tell if a person came to you and asked you, how can my power always come online? How can I get more in tune with these gifts, so to say? What would be your response to that?
Spend time by yourself.
That's a very good one.
Spend time by yourself. No distractions, no TV, no phone. It's just in the solitude because it allows your mind to wander and allows you to open up the door.
Exactly.
Guess where I got that from?
Where?
Comedian Mike Epps.
Okay.
He said something profound yesterday in the video. He said, the only way you really know if you're a real person if you're by yourself. The way you handle by yourself, when you're by yourself.
Yeah, that's the only.
There's nothing around you. It's just you, your mind, and God. He said.
Yes, that's who you really are. So, that's interesting because I grew up doing that, and now you gotta understand I grew up with siblings too. So it was a few years where I was the only child, but I grew up with siblings, and so I've learned how to do things solitary by myself. So what he just said has a lot to do with a lot of things. It's the reason why people pick up vices so much. It's because they can't, like, that silence is the loudest silence to them. That's why they surround themselves with so much noise on purpose. Some people, we people like us, we try to push that shit out because we like, I don't fucking give a fuck about this. But everybody's different. So I had to realize that. So I say this thing Like I said, and I probably mentioned this before in the previous episodes. I said that um, that I sat at the table when I was a kid. I sat at the table with the devil, right? So not Satan, but I sat at the table with the devil, man, because I think the devil is like you.
Or
Because
negative parts of you.
yes, exactly what I mean. I thank you for clearing that up. To be more specific, the negative parts of you, so or the shadow parts of you. And my thing is, the reason why I say that is at a young age, I swear to God, and I feel like God was in the room. It was like it's something. It wasn't nothing like no supernatural stuff. It was just like it's a metaphor for me dealing with myself at a young age. So I had the mind of like I had a broad or wide range of mind at a young age. So I was like, I need to. What is this stuff I'm feeling? All this anxiety and what the hell is this? And I'm not even like then I at the time I'm like I feel good. I got a good life. Or what's going on? Then that's before I started realizing I'm feeling emotions from other people, what they call empaths and stuff like that. So I'm starting to realize these things. So I chose to go into them dark rooms where other people was like, hell no. And then now it explains why they get to a certain age point or a certain point in their life and they haven't dealt with certain things. Even like the people that's around me or like even my family or like my parents, it's there certain things I see that they had to put on pause for other things and that they never got back to. So I think that that's very important for us to sit with self because that's when all of those things reveal itself. And like you said, that was perfect what you said because that's exactly what I did. And when you sit with yourself, you said all of the door open. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's that shit I call like stillness. And if it's some days I naturally like a rainy day or something like that, or a day where I'm gloomy, I can naturally slip right into it. Like
that's the opportune time when it's raining. Because something about
I'm
being
always at fucking work.
I know.
Anyway, it's so weird, bro.
With that being said, we're going to end the segment. The next segment we're going to talk about not being afraid to voice opinions to friends and family. That's very important that we talk about that.
Oh man, I got to keep that in mind.